Hi, we are
Hi.
live.
Hi.
So, we're going to give a few minutes for some people to join us. I know we're a little bit before the 2 o'clock mark, but I just wanted to make sure that we got started on time. And I know I'm excited to speak with you today and be able to share your business with some of the people that are going to be coming on and joining us. So, I just want to start off by giving a welcome to everybody that's coming on, is coming in as our live audience, and also to people that are going to be coming and watching us later on our replay. So, I just want to thank people for tuning in to come in to listen to a little bit about who we are and what we do. So, my name is Salama McFarland. I am the Assistant Director for the Victorious Business Professionals Ministry under the leadership of Sister Clara Lyons-DeVaughn. She is our director, and right now she is vacationing and having a great time for her, celebrating her birthday. And we just wish her a very, very joyful and happy and safe trip. And the VBP ministry, we're a ministry that is part of the Victory in Christ Christian Center, which is under Bishop John and Pastor Aisha Edmondson. So we're just excited to be here today. And I want to give a little bit of feedback about what BBP is all about. Some people, this is your first time tuning into our broadcast, and you may not know exactly what BBP is. And we are the Victorious Business Professionals. And what we do is events like what we're doing today, which we are here. This is our BBP Business Spotlight. And every fourth Sunday at 2 o'clock, we take the opportunity to spotlight one of our business entrepreneurs. And we offer lots of content and programming for business professionals as well as for business entrepreneurs. So we have many pillars that are part of our ministry. And what we stand for basically makes up the acronym of KNEEL, which is KNEEL. The K stands for kingdom. So what we do is try to have a kingdom mindset in every single thing that we do. We want to ensure that we are kingdom building, as God is able to equip us and allow us to grow in our ministries. We want to make sure that we give back to our church body and be provision for God. Also, the N is for networking. And we have many networking events that we have throughout the year where we're giving an opportunity for people to connect with like-minded individuals. In a Christian environment, you're able to connect with other entrepreneurs and business professionals. In fact, we have a networking event immediately following this one at 3 o'clock, which I'm going to share more information about. And the first E, it stands for education. So we have a lot of opportunities to provide education to people who are looking to expand and grow in their business knowledge so that they can become better equipped as entrepreneurs and also as business professionals. And the other E stands for exposure. So this is again one of our exposure opportunities, and we have many more like this where we're allowing business owners to market their business and to be able to expand and grow. And L is for leadership. So within the ministry, you have an opportunity to be able to grow in your leadership capacity by serving in our ministry. And you can also take leadership courses that are offered through our church. So there's many ways that we utilize these pillars in order to make sure that we are benefiting people that are business professionals and entrepreneurs and allowing them to be able to be all that God is calling them to be. So, I'm absolutely excited today to interview the phenomenal Alberta Ferebee. And Alberta is the owner of Aunt Berta's Kitchen, and she is a longtime member of Victory and our business directory. So, I welcome you here today,
Uh,
Alberta.
Thank you so much.
And
I'm happy to be here.
and I just want to give an opportunity for you to share a little bit about yourself and tell us how you came to become a partner at Victory in Christ Christian Center.
Well, I've been at Victory 15 years. I was at a church for a long time since I was a teenager, and moved to New Jersey to start the business because that was in Philadelphia. Moved to New Jersey and start the business, and it got so busy I couldn't get back to Philadelphia to church. So I was invited by one of my customers to come to Victory, and I came on a Sunday, and then I went back to my other church, and I came again on another Sunday because Victory would have 2 to 3 services. And then one day I just decided to stay. It was just the Lord just said it was okay. It was I could still work my business, which was given to me by God, and I could still go to church. I didn't go to church for a while, for a year, and I would get around church people, and they would be talking about the Lord and things like that, and tears would just come down my face. I knew I had to be in service. I knew I had to be in service, and I was invited to come to Victory, and here I still am after all these years.
That's awesome. I'm just laughing one of the comments. Thank you, hubby. Um, so yeah, Victory is absolutely phenomenal, and we basically kind of connected. We found out about Victory online, my husband and I.
Mhm.
So it has
Oh,
definitely made a huge impact in our lives.
yeah,
So,
because they're a bishop and pastor are very passionate about teaching their flock. And so I've taken numerous classes, have graduated various in various areas in the schools, and that's important to me. I love to learn, and just offering the leadership classes, which helps you in life as well as in business. That's the major some of the major PowerPoints about Victory is that it's an ever growing church. Teaching is giving classes, giving your members opportunity to learn and to grow.
amen. So tell me, how did you get started in your business?
I have cooked all my life, and I'm in my 70s. I started cooking at home for my dad and my brothers, and started at 14. I cooked in my uncle's restaurant, and that's where the bug kind of like really stuck. I was would go there and work on weekends, and I could only prep because it was a restaurant and a bar, so I couldn't be there when they served or anything like that. But I could go there and learn prep and things like that. And I went to Glasper State as a home economics major, and from there I went into business dining and um, hospital service, food service. I was food service director of in the dietary department. I was food service director, Pico, IBM, different places like that for food service companies. So so all through my life, God just kind of like took me from step to step to step for me to work for these companies so that when it was time for me to step out, because I heard years ago the Lord say, you're going to open your own restaurant. And if anyone ever hears me talk about my testimony, is that in prayer, back at that first church, early in the morning, sister and I, we go to church and we be in the morning in prayer. And I heard the Lord say, you're going to open a restaurant. And I would get up and testify and say, God said, I'm going to open up a restaurant. And I
Yeah.
just believed what he said. And so then from there, I went to, I did, again, went to hospitals, hospital food service. From there, I was promoted to a place like Workshop and Dome in West Point, Pennsylvania, where I was assistant director, from assistant director to director to director. And then one day I was at a store. I always catered. I always did business on the side. And
Mm.
I was in a store one day, and the gentleman said to me, I was talking to a lady about her favors for her wedding. And the gentleman said to me, so what do you do? I said, I just finished a women's entrepreneurial class. And I said, I'm really ready to start catering. I said, so I'm looking for a place, I'm looking for a building. And he said, I have a building. Come see me. He gave me his card. And I came to see him. And my daughter and came down and visited, looked at the place. And that was the location now on White Horse Pike in Oak Glen that we've been here now for 24 years. We rented from him for six years, and then the Lord gave us the opportunity to buy him out. And 24 years later, we're still here with the second location in Lindenwall. So that's how we got started. And again, I think I know that if I had not heard from God, I might have had a little bit more of a drawback spirit. But I knew what God said for me to do, and I just went out and just went for it.
That's phenomenal. And I hear that's how a lot of business owners get started. You kind of dib and dab with it on the side, and then eventually you just expand and grow.
Yeah.
But it still takes a whole lot of boldness and confidence to be able to step out in faith and to hear and listen to God and
Mm-hmm.
say, you know what, I'm going to actually go ahead and do this. So I know when you first got started, there must have been some challenges that you faced. What were
Well,
some?
we were in. If you ever come to Oakland, now it's more diverse. But when
Hmm.
we first came here to Oakland, we were the only African American company here.
Wow.
Um, so we had a little, few challenges there, and the owner was very upset when people said different things to him because he brought us into their community. But I said to him, I said, you know what? Don't I know what God told me to do, and I said the same people who are telling you, being negative with you, they're going to be my customers one day.
Mm.
And I said, so they had to see that we were going to operate in quality, and that
Hmm.
we were going to, to have integrity and love people and do what God told us to do. And now we're a very very diverse company.
I see.
Hmm.
Hey,
Very very
you're definitely a
very
testimony.
diverse. Yes.
That's
So
awesome.
that was and then we we took you you have to be licensed and inspected by the state. So you learn to follow, you follow their rules. I don't buy food from people that are not um, certified or that are not, like, I don't go out and buy food from off the back of somebody's truck or anything like that. I don't do those kinds of things. I buy them from approved vendors because it's my responsibility as a business owner to keep my customers safe. And I
Hmm.
follow those rules. So,
Yes.
I follow those rules. Um, and it has taken me far.
Hmm.
It's taken me far. We knew that we were going to open a second location, and we did open in the Berlin Farmers Market. We had a big celebration, and we opened there, and that we operated there for 7 years. And
So what made you decide to open up the second location? Like what was the big what was the turning point that made you know, that let you know that, it was time?
time, because it took us a while to get it going, but I always, in your heart, you know if you I just know that that was how the Lord was leading me, that we were supposed to open up another one, and that there's going to be multiple Aunt Berta's Kitchen, and I know that. So we stepped out on faith, trying to go the direction that we hope that the Lord is telling us to go, and we did, and it was successful. But when the opportunity came for us not to rent and to purchase,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way the direction that we went. Because when you're in someone else's building, then they let you, they can tell you when you can be open. We were only allowed to be open so many days a week because the farmers market wasn't open. We can
Right.
only, you can only do things that they wanted you to do, and also, every year the rent went up, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. but I knew that if I'm going to pay this amount of rent, I could pay that amount of mortgage. So
Mm.
the opportunity came for us to purchase the store in Lindenwall, and we rented from that lady for a couple of years, and then we bought it. So now we are owners of two properties.
Wonderful.
So that just try to hear what God has to say,
Mm-hmm.
and move forward. And, and it's not always easy, um,
Right.
but you just persevere because if He said it, then it is so. It is so, and that's
So, what
all.
is the management like? Are you basically running both stores, or
But
do
right
you
now, my daughter runs the Lindenwall store, and then we have two managers there now. One eventually will come out, and we'll get him a assistant there or a supervisor there, and he will become like the district manager, the one that's been there the whole time. He will kind of be supervise over all of the stores, making sure that um, the same level of confidence, same level of quality will be in every store. They'll follow a consistent pattern. Um, we have next month, May, we are going to have a fair, um, to a job fair, but we are hopefully in May, by the end of the month, we're also going to open the third location in
a third
Delaware.
location?
Yeah, in
Very
Delaware.
nice.
Well, it's pretty much they're putting in floors like the floors, putting because this one we just took an empty shell and and starting it from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the real what we're really excited about it is that it has a drive-through, and we
Oh,
we think that we're the first soul food or homestyle cooking restaurant that'll have a drive-through. And it's in a very nice area in Delaware on Route 13 across from the airport, and we feel like it's going to be really quite busy. So that's what we're looking for: people, qualified people, to help us to take this to the next level.
uh-huh. So,
But
how are you basically advertising for? Are you on any online websites trying to find good people, or it's word of mouth?
we're on Indeed. We do
Indeed.
we do yeah, we do hire people from Indeed,
Mm-hmm.
but on the third of May, we're going to have a job fair at
Okay.
The Lindenwall location. Um, um, yeah, we're going to have a job fair on Monday the 2nd, and from 9 to 12, and then from 4 to 8, and then Tuesday the 3rd from 4 to 8. We're going to have a job fair at our Lindenwall location. We're looking to hire, people in different positions, managers, lead cooks, shift leads, uh, prep cooks, um, counter servers, dishwashers, in every area, every possible area. We're looking for help, qualified help,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like a family oriented business. We we love everybody. We love our employees. We try to take good care of them, as far as salary is concerned and things like that. And I think that if someone comes on board, they'll see that we try to be very, very fair and competitive in our market.
That's wonderful. Well, you're a pro at it.
Um,
Obviously, you have, you must have great employee satisfaction to be able to open up a third store. You've been
yeah,
managing people for a very long time, and it's a skill set to be able to be an effective manager and be able to retain good people. So, what do you think are some of the skills that you possess that allow you to be able to um, hire the right people and to be able to lead them effectively. I know a lot of business owners that are looking to grow and expand, and with that, you definitely need help. But some of the challenges is knowing when to hire, and then knowing the right person to hire.
Mhm.
So, can you speak to that? Some of the
I
things, the
think that
attributes.
what happens with people is that you can look at a resume and people can put a million things on there that are true, that they say that they did. With our business, everything is hands on. So a lot of times when you hire somebody, they say they can do this, they can do that. Well, if you can do that, then you can come into this business and be able to do it. Now, you're going to do it my way. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
do, you may have learned a skill from someone else, and that's
Yeah.
great. But you're still going to have to do what I need you to do my way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't allow people to come in and change my recipes and I want to put this in, I want to do it. No, everything has a recipe. So that if you're at Aunt Berta's kitchen in Oakland, I want it to taste like that if you go to Lindenwall, and then I
Mm-hmm.
also want it to taste like that when you go to Delaware. So I'm a stickler about what you do when you're here. But again, people can put all kinds of things on resumes. We've seen the world, the gamut of the world, and then you get them here and they really can't do what they say
Mm-hmm.
or to my standard or whatever. So you have to learn. We give you have a probationary period to learn, and if you're
Mm-hmm.
willing to do that, we're willing to work with you. I have employees that have worked for me 10 years, 8 years, um, and we work together hand in hand. Some of them I can not be well. Most of them I could. Right now, I have a team here that I don't have to be here if I wanted to, if as long as everybody's here, I can get
Mm-hmm.
out and go do something or and go to you know, I have a brother in nursing care, go visit him or whatever. I can do those kinds of things because they know the standard, they know what we want. Our
Right.
our customers are um I tell them they're our boss. They're how we get paid. So
Mm-hmm.
it's our responsibility to take care of them. It's our
Right.
responsibility to give them quality. It's our responsibility to love them and see about them and what's if someone has a concern or something like that, how do we address that concern?
Mm-hmm.
People call us back and say, I didn't get this or this wasn't right. Amber, this was a little bit too salty or whatever. And I love it that they give us that kind of feedback because you can't
Yes.
correct what you don't know.
Right. That's
And
so
we're
true.
open to that. And um, my office manager, Nikia, will call them back on Monday and say,
Mm-hmm.
what was your experience? A lot of sometimes I'll chime in if I'm here. And, we want to correct that right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have standard operating procedures. It
Yes.
sounds like you already have a system,
Yes,
and then
we have a system. Um, we're looking for someone to be able to help us to take it to the next level that may have worked with a franchise company that can take us to another level. We're looking for that. But it will always be the things that I know too, the things that God gave me. You
mm-hmm.
don't want to change. You want to expand, but you don't want to change the things that like my motto is love God, love people, serve them your best. So if
Yeah.
I can't serve you my best, then it's time for me to kind of like I don't know. I just I want you to be happy with what I do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we serve companies. This week we served one company 250 meals a day for 4 days.
Wow.
So we do large things and we also do small things.
Mm-hmm.
We Years ago I did a couple's first wedding anniversary and I served the husband and wife in their home. So it doesn't make any difference what it is, how large or how small. Next week we're doing 250 sandwiches for another company 2 days, Friday and a Saturday. So we do large things and we do small things. A lot of schools, um, the charter schools and things like that. We do to feed their teachers and things like that. So it's not only people who walk in the restaurant that way. The catering part of our industry is very, very important.
And I love your catering. I can speak. I can testify.
That's a big part of what we do is the
Yes.
catering.
So, what would you say to a new restaurant owner, somebody who's looking to get started in this industry? What do you know now that you wish you knew when you first got started?
Um, just persevere. People have to get to know you and know what you're doing and things like that. I, I, the other thing is, it's my door. It says on my front door that we open at 11 o'clock. I want that door open at 5 minutes to 11. It's whatever time it says for us to open, I want it opened. Our
Mm-hmm.
line ready, the food ready, and we're ready, dressed and ready to serve our customers. I don't like lateness. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like, if whatever the standard is, follow that standard. Don't be, yeah, oh, don't be where you don't want to, where you don't care or you don't have a standard for. Have a standard for yourself. Have a standard for God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just whatever you're supposed to do it, and do it to the best of your ability. And if you can help somebody
Mm-hmm.
in any way. If you can help, I said to you when we were talking a little bit earlier, I have a gentleman that works for me that's handicapped. Okay, so we have to make some adjustments and different things like that for him. But every single day, I can look up and he's getting off the bus. He's
Yes.
has never missed a day.
Mm.
I can work with that person.
Yes.
I can work. I can help him. I
Mm-hmm.
can work with him. And I really do. You can't, something you can't do about it because sometimes people kind of like to play games and different things like that, or be a little sneaky and things like that. And I just have to let the mama part of me come out sometimes and say, okay, no, this is how we do. This is what I want, and this is how we're going to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I do have to be, a little bit more sterner or more firmer than than maybe someone else may think, may not like or whatever like that. But you sometimes you have to look because I'm a woman and have done this for so long. I
Mm-hmm.
have to sometimes step up and say, this is what it's going to be.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm thinking about that song James Brown is a man's world. No, this is Aunt Berta's world, and this is what you're going to do. And this is what I need.
I love
and
it.
and we've been successful all this time, and
Yes.
we can still be successful. You can come along with us and be successful also.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things the bishop mentioned today was, I want to be we want to be able to expand this so that people can open their own Inverter's kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. And
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying it's not always about us and what we want. How can I help you? I have gentlemen who came to me, worked for me, came out of prison, and they're gone on to live successful lives. Have gotten married, have beautiful jobs and things like that. That's what we want, to be able to show people that it is possible. But you
Yeah.
have to have a standard. You have
Mm-hmm.
to get up. You
Mm-hmm.
have to get up and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be lazy. It's you gotta get up and go to work. It's important every day.
Now, are you mentoring other restaurant owners now, or is that something that you would be interested in doing?
We I want to. I have a young man that's right here with me now. That the next one, we not the one that's Delaware. That's my daughter's. But the next one that we open, it will be his restaurant, and he's
Oh,
been
that's
with me for 8 years. But his loyalty,
mm-hmm.
the things that he's learned, his integrity, those things open the door for you, and that's what we have to show people.
Now, how do you protect yourself? I know that these people have access to your recipes and things of that nature. If they were to leave your company, how do you ensure that they're not taking all your secrets away?
We do have them sign a what's it called, a disclosure when
Okay.
they're first hired, that
Mm-hmm.
they will not take out and use our recipes and things like that after that. So anywhere else. So we do have them sign that. But for the other thing is that most things everybody doesn't do them.
Right.
So I have one cook that he's only one other than my daughter and myself that makes macaroni and cheese.
Oh, okay.
and then there's somebody else that does something else, and
Right.
somebody else does something else. Then all of the breadings and things like that are made and they're bagged, and when they use them, it's already made up.
Got it. Yes.
So there's some things like that, but other things like that, it's if you're going to be a cook
Mm-hmm.
and you go somewhere and you eat something or whatever, if you're really a cook, then you could really just play around with something and get it to be something that you want, that you like the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't, I'm not as, um, I don't know how to say it. I'm not as worried about those kinds of things, but my daughter is more so. Uh, um, I guess I'm a little bit more trusting. I don't know, but
But whatever it is, it served you well for all these many years.
yeah, Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost.
So what is the benefit of being a business owner? What do what do you get? What are you gaining by being your own boss?
I this the fast satisfaction when we come here from God. He puts into us what we're supposed to do and who we're supposed to be. And my satisfaction is that I'm doing that for His glory to the best of my ability. So that's my satisfaction is that I'm doing what He wants me to do to the best of my ability and to His satisfaction, and then I'm happy. I don't have to have a lot, and my daughter says, "Mom, you have to keep your phone on because I hate this cell phone." And she, "Mom, you have to keep your phone on. You're Aunt Berta." I said, "No, I don't. But I don't have to keep it on because I need
I know
peace.
it's the same way for me. Like we always
I
have
need peace
content.
sometimes. Turn that thing off." And then I go places and people say, "Oh, you work for Aunt Berta?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, I'm Aunt Berta." "Oh, you're Aunt Berta? Oh my God, I love your turkey wings." So those kinds of things are satisfaction for me. The people who say they enjoy what I do, that's great. That they enjoy what I fix for them. I love to feed people. I love to give service, and if people enjoy what I do, I'm happy.
That's phenomenal. So, are there any challenges with being your own boss? You know, some of the struggles. I know, like you say, you have to keep your phone on. You know, sometimes people expect you to be there 24/7
Yes,
for
yes.
their
Well,
service.
this is like when someone calls out, you can't always get somebody to replace them right away. Um, we at Victory, we have the two services. I would much rather love to be at the 9 o'clock service, but
Mm-hmm.
I have this morning the morning cook called out, so I had to be there. I told you how a young man works for me is handicapped, so I had to be there this morning to be with him to make sure that everything was set up for the second team to come in at 11:30 and take it over,
Mm,
and that we're not falling behind the eight board because because we open up at 11:30.
right.
So also I have to make sure that the doors are open. This one, the original one, I unlock the door every day to let the cooks in, to let the people in. Lindenwald, I have a manager down there that he does it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those are kinds of things that you sometimes just not being able to be away or having freedom to. Well, again, I'm not going to say sleep later because the alarm clock goes off every morning at 4:30, and usually I'm woke before it goes off. So that's I'm an early person. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
late person.
Mm-hmm.
I do things early. I want to get up, get it done. But I don't. And then at 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm coming down. I want to
Yeah.
be somewhere sitting in my chair. I want to be, something like that. So I think that again, the biggest thing for me is I heard God's voice,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what He wants me to do, and I just try to follow His path and do it to the best of my ability.
So, how do you manage your time? Do you
Um,
have a certain system?
well, we do the same thing every day. So Mondays is the only day that I really can have say that most say 90% of the day is mine. I try to take Mondays off. But we do get some caterings on those days, and as long as it's over like 100 people, whatever like that. Sometimes somebody wants us to do food for a funeral, or one of the schools want food for their teachers or something like that. Then I go ahead and do it and try to catch a day another day to do, to get that one day off.
Mm-hmm.
But on Tuesdays we're making salads for the week, and Salisbury steaks and salmon cakes. All the prep for the beginning of the week for two restaurants we are producing. On Mondays, I let cook people in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they start because our collard greens are fresh. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, I let a husband and wife team in, and they come in at 4 o'clock and start cutting collard greens. And then on Tuesdays, again, we do all prep for salads and things like that. So we follow the same pattern, the same system, and it has worked for us. Now, what's going to happen when we open store number three is we are right now looking for a commissary. We're right now looking for a building where we can produce everything out of,
Mm-hmm.
things that they won't produce inside the store. Like right now, I make all the cakes. I make 20 to 25 cakes a week.
Wow.
Um, I have a young lady who hopefully she's going to be able to take that over from me. Um, but I oversee my production of bread pudding and cobbler. I oversee on Tuesdays. I oversee over that production of all that stuff. So eventually, I would love to have somebody come and take it over from me. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll hang around
So
there and
you
see.
have an eye on somebody to be the lead manager, like a successor. Is there somebody that you're raising up to take over?
We have we have one young man that I think that's going to be more so over the properties, making sure that the properties are managed, and everything is uh, up, kept up to par. It's just
Mm-hmm.
important that what your buildings look like, the grass and the everything like that is corrected and made sure it looks good. I have one young man that I'm thinking about for that, and if not that, then he will, be that person to do what I'm talking about now. Um, Me pulling out of production so much and him going into production. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
other thing. This reason why we have this fair coming up on the second, because one of the persons in there is for a production person. We just need somebody to be able to oversee production, and if not if when we find the commissary, that's where that person will be.
That's phenomenal. So what were those dates again? I'm going to put it into the chat. So we have May
May May
2nd,
second and the third.
May
Time.
2nd, and May 3rd.
It's on our website too. But
Okay.
May 2nd and third. May 2nd is 9 a.m. to 12, and then again at 4 to 8, and then on May 3rd it's 4 to 8, 4 to 8. And they ask them to please bring their resumes.
You're going to have a team on site to interview right away, or
Yes, yes, yes.
phenomenal. So that is so exciting. I'm so excited for you with the expansion into a whole new state.
Mhm. Well, my daughter and my son-in-law live in Delaware,
Okay.
and it's the she will run that store. Um, and I'm losing from well, not really losing her because once I retire, all of it's going. She'll be managing all of it. But temporarily, I'll be losing her to New Jersey just to get that one up and running. But again, we think that one may um, exceed anything that we've done here because of the drive-through. Because it
Yes.
makes it people want convenience now.
Mm-hmm.
They have to get out of their car and come in and things like that. Um, but, so we're seeing that these restaurants with the drive-through, people want to sit in their car and take their orders and get their food. So we're gonna try. It's gonna be a pilot. We're gonna try it, and if it works, then we're gonna go after that. That's the kind of venue we're gonna go after next. That
That's
and that.
phenomenal because I would always tell my husband, "There's no place to eat in Delaware."
Well,
So this is
um,
going to be great. We'll
yeah,
drive to Newcastle for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. On Route 13 in Newcastle. Yes.
That's a
Um,
phenomenal location
and
too.
the signs are up now. People are emailing us and texting us and saying, "We see the sign. When is it going to open?" Um, but in May, so we're hoping Mother's Day, but that's not going to happen. It's not completed. Well,
Okay.
COVID slowed down some of the stuff coming to us. The
Mhm.
But before the end of May, it will be opened.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
love it, love it, love it.
yeah,
Before the summer.
yeah, yeah.
So that's going to be very exciting.
It will be open. So again, my only thing to tell people is, what is on your heart? What do you think that what is it that God has given you to do? Just go after it and trust Him. And a young man talked to me after church today. Was asking me some questions while I was trying to rush to get here to do this interview, and I said to him, "Be a tither. Be a tither. Give your
Yes.
tithes. Give your offerings. Whatever the Lord lays on your heart, give. Sow into people. Sow into the church. Whatever God tells you to do, do it." And partner with. I tell people, I partner with God in this business. I partner with Him, and He makes me successful. He's my partner, and He makes me successful.
Amen. Trust and believe in God and hear
Yeah,
from Him. So it sounds like you hear clearly from Him,
yeah,
and that just speaks to your spiritual walk.
yeah. I have my office manager, and I just been together now a couple of years, and she'll ask me something, and I'll be sitting there quiet, and she'll, what, Amber, did you, I just don't want to be quiet. You be quiet for a few minutes so I can hear.
Hmm.
I don't, and that probably drives them crazy that I don't give them a snap answer right away. I I can't do it that way. I have
Hmm.
to get the go ahead.
Hmm.
It just, and then it has been, that has worked for me.
Amen. I believe it.
Yeah,
I try to do the same thing. I try not to do anything unless my steps are ordered.
yeah,
And I trust and believe that He's directing me and guiding me. And that's the only way that it's going to be profitable and to work. And you're blessed. You're obviously a blessing to other people because you are blessed. And that's the way the kingdom is supposed to work.
yeah.
So this has been an absolute pleasure today, the opportunity to be able to speak with you. And I just know everybody got something out of it. You have so much wisdom. It's been such an honor to hear from you. I mean, all your many, many, many years of entrepreneurship. You shared so many nuggets, and people need to just go back and re listen and just get all the takeaways, knowing that you have to hear from God, trust God, believe God, walk out and step out on faith, and being able to do what He's telling you to do. So you're definitely a testimony to that. You're a great example of what God is able to do in and through us. And I hope that you're able to join us. And I'm inviting everybody to join us at 3 o'clock. We're going to be hopping on to a different platform, which is Clubhouse. And that's for our 3 p.m. network chat that we have every fourth Sunday. So I just put it in our banner. So if you are not registered for the 3 o'clock event, type in bit.ly/VBP network and the link will be sent to you. And that's the opportunity for us to be able to communicate as business owners and business professionals. We'll hear from our great leader, Chris Hampton, and he always shares wonderful nuggets that we can take away from the lesson and be able to apply it into our business lives and our professional lives. So I hope to see you all at 3 o'clock. Thank you again, Ms. Alberta. It's been a pleasure, and we're
My,
signing off.
my pleasure.